Hello, SAT scholars. This is skill 3, which is unit conversions. And this is a useful skill in not only math class, but also science class. And you'll see some unit conversion problems on the SAT. And if you want to major in any type of science, I would say unit conversions are important. Fortunately, most of the time you will see that the conversion factors will be given to you in the form of a conversion ratio. So for instance, we have 1 mile equals 1.61 kilometers, or on the delta math, you'll actually see on the unit conversion problems all sorts of conversions that are provided for you that you will strategically choose. All right, so we're going to start with a basic unit conversion problem. So in 2011, Mr. Benzel, traveled to Costa Rica to study permaculture. So I kind of studied like the plants, and I did like a meditation and thought about how we kind of related to the natural world. And it was really relaxing. So anyways, when I arrived at the airport, I took my dollars and I was given 44,000 colones. So that's the name of the currency in Costa Rica. So that's what I received. So I received 44,000 colones. And the question is, how many dollars did I convert? So what you would do when you are doing that is I like to actually kind of plan my ratio. So I'm going to put colones, and I'm just going to abbreviate just COL. And the conversion rate is $1 for 489 colones. So I'm just going to put dollars per colones, and I'm going to put the 489 on the bottom. And the $1 on top. And then these colones, they cancel out. And I want dollars. And fortunately, we just multiply across. So I have 44,000 on top. And I have 489 on the bottom. And the unit is in dollars. So notice the dollar does not cancel out. And I do 44,000 divided by 489. And you'll want to just go to the Delta Math calculator on these on the top right corner. You can get out your smartphone if you're kind of working at home. And I could do 44,000 divided by 489. And that is about $89.98. So you're really not that rich if you get 44,000 colones. All right, let's take a look at another example. So this is a basic level dimensional analysis unit conversion problem that you will see in Delta Math. And what we have here is that we need to convert 6 pounds into ounces. And as a tip, you want to circle the most relevant unit conversion, and Delta Math will give you a table of unit conversions. And I noticed that there is a handy conversion with pounds and ounces, so I'm going to circle that. And I start with 6 pounds, and then I'm just going to plan my ratio. So you always multiply. And I'm going to have pounds in the denominator, and then I'm going to have ounces in the numerator. And I'm going to do that because I want my pounds to cancel out. So anytime that you're kind of going diagonal, so like you have a numerator and then a denominator, the units cancel. So I'm going to put 1 pound. So that 1 goes where the pound is. And then I'm going to have 16 ounces. And I'm going to multiply 6 by 16 across for a total of 96. And then I just have a 1 in the denominator. And we are just left with 96 ounces. So your level ones, they typically will have fewer steps. And you'll usually be able to find the conversion that you need in the table by spot. So now let's go to a level 2 problem on Delta Math. All right, so this one, you are going to go from yards to kilometers. So I like to kind of think about the end goal and where we start at. So we're going from yards to kilometers. And where we're starting is 9,500 yards. So that's where we're starting. And I like to plan my first ratio. So I want something with yards in it. And I'm going to look at my table. And the only thing that has yards in it is the yards to feet. So I'm going to choose yards to feet. So I'm going to put the 1 yard on the bottom and the 3 feet on the top. And we can see that the yards cancel. Now, obviously, I don't want my answer to be in feet. I want my answer to be in kilometers. So I have to keep finding those conversion ratios. So now I want to choose one with a foot in it. And I'm just going to go to my table here. So I've already done this one. So I'm not going to do it again, obviously. I don't want to go back to yards. I have 1 foot and 12 inches. And then I also have 1 foot and 3.0 or 0.305 meters. And obviously, I would like to go to maybe the foot to meters because we want to go to some type of kilometers. So I'm going to choose for my second one, foot to meters. And I'm going to put 1 on the bottom, since that's foot. And then I'm going to put 0.305. Meters. And now my feet can cancel out. All right. Now, so I'm at meters. The question's asking me for kilometers. So I need to choose a third conversion. And this is why, it's level 2, because you're choosing, more than one. And what I notice here, well, I've already done the feet to meters. So I'm just going to go to the ones that have meters. So I have a meters to centimeters, and I have a meters to a kilometer. And obviously, since we're being asked for kilometers, I'm going to try to put meters and kilometers. So I'm going to choose for my third one, that one. And there are 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. And then we just multiply across. So note, we are going to just multiply across in the numerator and the denominator. And I'm going to do on the top, I'm going to do 9,500 times 3 times 0.305 times 1. All that in the numerator. And then in the denominator, all what I have when I kind of multiply across is just the 1,000. And then I'm just going to kind of let the calculator take care of the rest. So I'm going to do 9,500 times 3 times 0.305. And that gets me to 8692.5. And then I'm going to divide by 1,000. And this is equal to 8.6925. And if you put that in Delta Math, it would mark you wrong because they want to the nearest hundredth. So your final answer would be 8.69. So make sure that you are paying attention to how they want you to round it. But when you are doing like the SAT though, they'll probably give you like multiple choice with the proper number of decimal places. And make sure that you put units in to keep your science teacher happy. So that would be 8.69 kilometers. Now, let's see what the SAT version of a unit conversion problem looks like. And actually, this is literally like the Costa Rican problem that we did at the very beginning. It says that Lila wants to exchange US dollars to euros before traveling to France. Her bank offers an exchange rate of $1 to 0.84 euros. So I like to think about, what are we comparing? It's pretty obvious here that we're comparing, dollars to euros. And I'm just going to kind of take note of that. And then it says approximately how many dollars does Lila need to exchange if she wants to receive 350 euros from the bank. Now, what we can kind of see here in this problem, we'll do some process of elimination. We can see that a dollar is going to get you fewer euros. So what that means is we may want to think about whether we need more dollars than 350 to get 350 euros. And if you answer that question, then you could actually do a little process of elimination. But the sure, straightforward way is to actually just set up a proportion. So I have $1 to 0.84 euros. So that's your conversion. And then I like to kind of just read what that question is asking, saying how many US dollars So that's the question mark. I'm going to put that in the dollar row. Do we need to have to get 350 euros? And this is your classic cross multiplication. So I'm going to have 350 equals to 0.84 question mark. And I'm just going to divide by 0.84. So I'm going to do 350 divided by 0.84. And I'm going to get 416.67. Which is basically $417. Now, if I were kind of like forgetting to set up a proportion, we could see that when I exchange the dollar for the euros, so if I'm putting like $500 and I'm going to the bank to get euros, they're going to give me fewer euros. So that means that I need more dollars for the same amount of euros. So I would need to have more than $350 to get 350 euros. So one could easily eliminate two answer choices just with that reasoning. All right, and then this one is kind of a similar idea, except they kind of trick you with kind of having rates that you are comparing. So this is the Shanghai Maglev train is at a speed of 431 kilometers per hour. We can make the assumption that 1 mile per hour would be 1.61 kilometers per hour. So I would even do that. So I would write 1 mile per hour is 1.61 kilometer per hour. And I would actually just make this into a proportion. And the 431 goes in the denominator. And the question mark goes in the numerator. So it's asking for miles per hour. So I'm going to have 1.61 question mark equals to 431. I'm going to divide by 1.61. And then I can find out the question mark. So I'm going to do 431 divided by 1.61. So I'm going to get 267.7. Which rounds to 268. So moral of the story, when you are doing conversions, keep track of your units. You want to always be thinking about what are you comparing. So are you comparing like miles per hour with kilometers per hour? Are you comparing dollars to colones? Are you preferring, centimeters to meters? So if you are keeping your units straight, then it will be like much easier math where you just have to literally multiply and divide on your calculator.